where do I begin? If any of you met me here tonight and I was introduced as the keynote speaker, you said, "Oh, what are you going to be speaking about?" And I looked at people and I said, "I'm not sure." And they gave me this blank stare like, "You're not sure what you're going to talk about tonight?" But what I want to share with you is that I needed to be present. I needed to be here with all of you, to feel the energy, to listen to the conversations, because it's very important and we miss being present. And so I'm going to start with my story, because I had this dream that I wanted to own my own business and I wanted to be successful. And I had this dream that I'd be paying for my daughter's college education, and that happened. I achieved my dream. So for 12 years, I built a little empire on Cape Cod. And people used to come up to me and say, "Wow, you seem so happy, you're so successful." And yet something was missing. And it was that aha moment that my definition of success had changed. And so one day I made a decision and I said, "You know what? I need to find happiness." And so I came home and I said to my husband, "Guess what? I am going to fold up shop, I'm going to sell out, and I'm going on a journey to find true happiness." And so that's what I did. I sold my business for next to nothing and I walked away. And I had no idea what the next chapter of my life would be. But I knew that this was the most important step that I had to take in my life at that time. So here's where the story gets really interesting, because I came to Miami. And this is like a connection with Miami, because in 2014, I went to the Oprah event here in Miami, where Meg got on stage, and I actually met Oprah backstage. The hairs on my arms stood up, because it's what she said to me. That was right after I gave up my business, and she said, "Be in service of others and you will find your true purpose and meaning in life." And the moment she said that, it was just like everything stopped. And I knew that there was a message in that for me, but I still didn't know what it was. So I returned home from Miami, and I knew that there was something like right there that I needed to reach for, but I didn't know what it was. So I continued this journey, and I took a trip to India with my middle daughter to be in service. And so we traveled all the way across the world, and we helped these children, and we taught them English. And my daughter and I would sit with them every day, and what we found was that simple acts of kindness were all that these kids needed. They needed a smile or a hug. And so that was my second aha moment. Kindness mattered. So I returned home, and I was still seeking. Still didn't know exactly what I was going to be doing. So I started walking the beaches every day of Cape Cod. And on these walks, I would look for signs and messages. And in this process, I also realized that the signs were not outside of me, but they were inside of me. They were in here. And I also realized that all of the other people that were walking on the beach with the same look in their eye, not paying attention, but kind of out in space, contemplating something, I thought, maybe I'm not the only one that does this. Maybe other people are seeking, and they're looking for signs and messages too. And so one day, I have no idea why I did this. There was a Sharpie magic marker on my counter, and I picked it up and I put it in my pocket. And when I got to the beach, I started writing little inspirational messages on rocks. And I started dropping them along the beach. And as divine inspiration goes, on that very first day, I only dropped 5 rocks, and it was on a 1.5-mile stretch of beach where there were thousands of rocks. And a friend of mine texted me a picture of a rock on that very night when I only dropped 5. Go figure, right? And she said to me, "Did you drop this rock today on the beach?" And I immediately texted back, "No," because I thought it was a little odd that a 47-year-old woman was riding on rocks and dropping them on the beach. What had come of my life? So I said, "No, I didn't." "Why?" And she said, "Well, I found this rock today, and I thought it might have been you. I recognized the handwriting, and it's something that you would do." And I said, "Nope, not me, but pretty cool." And then it's what happened next. She said to me, "If it was you that dropped that rock, I want to thank you. I was having a really bad day, and your rock was that message that I needed." And I still denied it. I said, "Nope, not me, but that's really amazing." And so for 1.5 years, I continued doing this anonymously, because it's not about me, it's about the message, it's about being in service of others and trying to make someone else's day better. Maybe I could be that heart-shaped rock or that piece of sea glass for the person who needed it. And that intention was so strong that I did this every single day. And because I live on Cape Cod, where people come and vacation from all around the world, people came and started taking pictures of my rocks or bringing them back to their communities, and they joined me. And one of my daughters one day said, "Mom, add a hashtag." And it went viral. And so it's called the Kindness Rocks Project. I think you all have a card in your bag. People started joining from all around the world. It's in India and Australia and New Zealand and Germany and Ireland. In fact, I was in Alaska this summer on a cruise, and guess what I found on a glacier? A kindness rock. And so now that people have joined from around the world, I spend my days answering people on social media. They share with me stories. I want to share a couple with you. Because one day, I was looking through YouTube at the hashtag, and there was a young girl, a high school girl, and she was sitting in her bedroom, and she made a YouTube video. And she was talking to the camera like she was talking to one of her best friends. And she said that she had been walking on the beach that day, and she was suicidal, so she was with her therapist. And she saw something out of the corner of her eye, and she took note of it and walked over and picked it up. And the rock was a message that she felt was dropped by the universe, especially for her, because it said, "Don't ever give up or give in." And so she shared in this video how powerful that message was, and she wanted to thank whoever had dropped it. And of course, I'm behind my laptop at home, sobbing. And that is the power of connection, that we can help another human being. But more importantly, the gift was in me giving that to her. I got so much more. And I receive a lot, but I give so much more. And today I received these messages about women that, one woman she was on the way home from her last breast cancer treatment, and she was at the grocery store, and she found a rock that said, "Be brave." And she shared with me that that rock, on the very last day of her chemotherapy treatments, was an example of how brave she had been. And so she keeps that on her bureau as a reminder that she can get through anything in life. And so the reason why I want to share my story with all of you is that we need to pay attention. When I started this talk tonight, I said I had nothing planned that I wanted to say to you. And the reason why is I needed to be present. Because being aware and being present is going to lead you down the path that is meant for you. We each have a different path and a different purpose. And I can tell you this. When things seem that they're off, they are. It's a message. Your life is trying to tell you something. Pay attention to the things that bring you joy and make you happy, because those are messages for you. Those are signals that you're getting closer to that purpose and what you were brought here in this lifetime to accomplish. My message is clear. I have found my purpose. I have given up on trying to live a dream that was not meant for me. And how I've done that is just getting very quiet and very still and being very present and paying attention. I promise you all that if you do that, you will find more meaning in your life and more joy. And my favorite quote that I love to leave on a rock is, your legacy is every life that you touch. It is every life that you touch. And so if you hold any opportunity that comes up for you and you hold that mirror of intention up to that, then you found your purpose, you found your meaning. So thank you so much. I've enjoyed being with you. Have a lovely, lovely evening.